In my previous video, I showed you how transpose works on the blackboard. So today I want to show you how to implement it in SAS. So let's get on the SAS first. Here you can see I'm trying to create a SAS dataset called NBA, and with the city name, let's say Toronto, and then the team, Raptors, and the skill, maybe like rebound, rank number 1. I'm not too sure if they rank number 1, I just made that up. But let's get started on the transpose first. So when you do transpose, the first thing you type is basically proc transpose. Okay. And then you give the input data source. Basically here it will be NBA, and you give an output data set. Maybe I call it NBA T, like T for transpose. Okay, and then you run it, and just to see what happens, one step at a time. Okay. Oh, nothing happened. What happened? Oh, because I didn't put proc print. Okay, so I do proc print. Again, the data, I want to see the new data set, right? And then do a run. Now I run again. Okay, so it's here. The only thing that get transposed is the rank. Why is that? Because by default, the SAS only transpose the numeric data types. So in our code, the only numeric data type we have, because here is the character, here is the character, and the character again. The only thing is rank, right? So if you want to transpose the character ones, and you can do maybe a var, you want to see the skills, right? And you run again, you're gonna see the skills, right? So you can either do the you can either transpose the numeric or character. You can also do both. Let's say skills and the rank. Okay. Okay. So now you have both character and the numeric. It doesn't look very nice. So what I really want to see is I want to see the different type of skills here, and then I want to see the teams here. Okay. Before we get into that, I want to try something different. So you can see the column name by default is column 1, column 2, but I want to change that, and you would like to use prefix called, let's say team, right? And just see what happens. Now you can see team 1, team 2, team 3. So that's how you change the column names for the numeric values, right? And then another thing you can do is that you can change the name. Let's say the name equal to, let's call it skills, okay? Or skills X, okay? Just to see what happens. Okay, now you can see the name actually changed to skills X, right? And here it has team 1, team 2, team 3. So still a little bit messy. So what I really want is actually put the real team names here, okay? And then put the skills here. So let's change the code. If you want to select like one row as the column, you need to do is use the ID and make sure the values are unique. So what I want to select is the team name, right? So I do a team. Let's just remove all the stuff, right? Okay, now I do a team. Let's see what happened. Perfect. Now you see the Raptors, the SAS, the Rockets, they are all here. The only problem is I don't know what those scores are, right? And some of them are 1, some of them are 2. So I want to list the skills here. So when you need to list a skill, what you want to do is through the by variable. In this case, will be by the skills, right? By the skills. Okay. One step at a time. Just keep trying. Again, there's some kind of mistake. It's not sorted. Okay, so basically saying, okay, you can do the by, but since the by skills, the skills is not really sorted. You can see rebound, shooting, speed, rebound, and so you want to sort it first, right? But actually, you don't have to sort it. I mean, you can use another option called not sorted. Okay, let's try. Now you can see still I want to see the rebound there all together. I don't want to see that twice, but it works, right? So it's getting closer to like whatever target table I have in mind. So let's change that. Instead of saying not sorted, let's just sort the data. You do a proc sort, right? You give it the data name, okay, and then let's say the NBA. I'm gonna sort the data on the table itself. So I'm gonna do a run, and I have to say sort by something. What should be ordered by? Let's say ordered by the rebound. Okay, not rebound, actually the skills, right? And then also by the rank. So I can keep the Toronto Raptors on the top. Maybe I'm a little biased here, but okay. So let's run the whole thing. So this will be sorted. So this is no longer needed, right? So let's run this. Perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. So I want to see the skills here with the rebound, with the shooting, and then this thing is not that useful, right? So you see the underscore name underscore. I can change it with the name option, but I think I'll just job it. Okay. So to job that in the output data set, you can do is you do a job and you say underscore name. It doesn't matter the case. I prefer lowercase. It makes it easier to type, right? So you job it and again, try. Perfect. So now you have skills and you have the teams, okay? And some people want to know, like, for example, Raptors are like in which city, right? Because they are not familiar with like NBA games. So let's see if we can put the city names along with the team name, right? So here, what they can do is ID and need to put a city, right? So you put a city and team, you give a little space and just to see what happens. You run it again. Oh, now you can see. Okay, so Toronto Raptors, Miami Heat, and then Minnesota Timberwolves, Utah Jazz, Boston Celtics, and Houston Rockets. Perfect. But you would prefer to have some little separation here. To have a separation, what you need to do is put a delimiter there, right? So the shorter one is this one. Let's say just put an underscore. Okay. Let's run again. So now you have Toronto Raptors, Miami Heat. It looks a little bit too long. You may want to put the city name into the label instead of putting together as a field name. So let's change that. So we change this one back to team. We don't need this one, right? Just keep the program clean. Here you use actually called ID label. So the ID label is not really to change the field or the data. Actually just put a label on the field name, right? If you are familiar with label in SAS. So here I want to give a label. I can give anything I want, but let's use the city name. Okay. Now I run the code again. That's what I do. Always test it, right? So now you can see the observation, the skill, and then the what's that, team names, right? So it looks very good. I want to keep even cleaner, right? So it's just job the observations. So when you do print, you can say no observation, right? And now, okay, now you can see it's perfect. That's exactly where I want to get into, right? The only thing is, where's the label? Okay, so let's try something. Let's say do a proc contents, okay? And you do a data. Again, it's NBA T because it's transposed. You run and you click on run. So now you get the proc contents, right? Now you can see, so each name, each team name has a label, and you can use label any way you want, right? You can either print the label or print the variable name. You have all the options. So basically that's how transpose works in SAS. But I think the best way to learn actually is just for you to get on the code and keep practicing. Again, have a target in mind, right? Just think about what you want to transform the table to, and then just focus on that and keep trying, right? And probably take an hour or two, and you'll really get familiar with it. So I think that's about it for the transpose. I basically covered the ID by the ID label and how to work on data, the output, also the prefix, also how to change the name. So I hope you liked the video, and I'll do another session on how to do the same thing in Python, also in R, and maybe later in VBA as well. And thank you very much.